What up, peeps? It is Soncerae here. How you living? I hope y'all are doing well, taking care of each other. You know, it is Tuesday morning. I don't even know the date right now. I think it's the 16th. Because Friday was the 13th, right? Friday was the 13th, so Saturday's 14th, Sunday's 15th, Monday's 16th. Today is the 17th of March. Okay, my days are like smashing together because I'm doing so much. All right, I don't get no break. I work 7 days a week, so I don't even know the damn difference between Monday and Friday right now. So anyway, that's why I had to go through the whole spiel of figure out what today's date is. It's March 17th. Knows I live in Northern California, all right? And everybody should know by now that my mother had the Rona, okay? And so when I first told everybody that my mother had coronavirus, right? When I first made my first video about it, where I was talking about they wouldn't test my mother and we were waiting to see if they it and she had all the symptoms and blah blah blah. I've seen a lot of people be very, very supportive in my comment section and in my live chats, and I appreciate that. I really do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram because that's where I will be doing my live streams. I will discontinue doing free live streams on YouTube, and they will now be membership only. Okay, so if you want to see my free live streams, you need to do Instagram and follow me there at the Real Soncerae. And so anyway, I did the video, and being as though people were very positive, there were still some people that tried it. It's some people that tried me. Oh, you lying. Oh, black people don't get coronavirus. Like it's going to skip over a whole race of people. A virus does not racial profile. Okay, now that we know that, Idris Elba has it. Okay, who else? Donovan Mitchell. Christian Wood has it. These are all black people. I believe that Charles Barkley has gotten tested for it. 21 Savage was considering getting tested for it. The problem with our confirmed cases, okay, and a lot of people think the United States confirmed cases are low. And the reason why people think that is because it's a mind fuck. People are being tested. Even the people that were on the Princess Cruise that docked in San Francisco, a lot of people believe that everybody on that boat was tested. No, they stuck those people in a motel and didn't test those people. We have limited test kits, so people are refusing to test people in the state of California. Now, in other areas in other countries, they have like the drive-through place, where you can go to, and I think they test your fever or something like that. All right. They did not have that when this first started coming around. I'm pretty sure they don't have that now. I think they have a station here. I think they have a few stations. Like they have two in California. They have them like sporadically, quarantine stations sporadically all over the United States. But they aren't like just passing out tests to where everybody can be tested so they can get an accurate number of how many people actually have this virus. Now, don't let the news scare you. Treat this virus how you would treat any other virus or cold. I'm not saying it's not as severe for the baby boomers because the baby boomers are getting it and they're not having a pleasant experience. But don't think because you're black or because you're young, you might not get it. Okay, there is a baby out there that tested for it. It was a baby that was tested positive for it and then healed itself. You understand what I'm saying? So your immune system is one of those things that will kick into gear. Your body will fight for you. Okay, it's not like, your body is going to just allow some virus to come into it and not do nothing. There are a lot of people who are carriers. Okay, I believe that the reason my mother got it is because I carried it to her from another person because I was around people who traveled. All right. During the time she got it, which was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was around people who were traveling like crazy. I didn't get sick. I didn't get any symptoms. My daughter didn't. My son didn't. But my mom got sick. So people who are young, you can still have it. You're just carrying it. And then the baby boomers are the ones that who have these weak immune systems and they're already old. Older people have a difficult time with disease and illness in general. Okay, so let's talk about martial law. All right. I spoke about martial law on my channel yesterday. People have been talking about martial law for a couple of weeks. If you don't know what martial law is, it's basically when the military comes in and basically controls everybody. Okay, now from what I understand, they already released the military in Georgia to combat the coronavirus, and it's like, how you expecting the military to combat a virus? It's not something the military can fight, but what's happening. And so anyway, yesterday I got onto my Facebook page and I let everybody know that martial law full effect in California. Now, what it is, all right, there's this thing called the shelter in place order. It's a mandate. Our mayor, London Breed, basically sent out like a mass text message to everybody. The government sent out an emergency alert, like an Amber Alert, to everyone's phone to say, stay home. That's flat out what it said. Stay home. It was like 4 words. Stay home, no social gatherings. And it was like an emergency alert, with that blaring sound, that loud ass sound that you be like, whoa, you know what I mean? When you get an Amber Alert, it was like that. And everybody got it. So if you were somewhere where it was like 5 other people with you, everybody stopped and was like, what is this? I actually got the alert 3 times. The first time I confirmed it, and it sent to my phone 2 more times. So everybody was getting this alert. Now it's very hard to contain 7 million people into their homes. But in a case like this, it's kind of easy to get people to go home. Number one, we work really hard in the Northern California area. People really would like to rest. They're appreciating the rest. Number two, when you have something like a virus and then you got the media scaring the hell out of everybody on the top, it's kind of easy to get everybody to stay home. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you don't really have to put in some force to get people to stay home. But there ended up being a curfew. And at first I was confused. I was like, wait a minute, you want us to stay home, but you have a midnight curfew. The reason why there was a midnight curfew is because the shelter in place order was to start today. So it was like, okay, if you're in the house, stay in the house. And if you're outside the house, be back in the house by midnight. Okay. Now, aside all of that, okay, the gyms are closed. All right. The bars are closed. The clubs are closed. The dine-in restaurants are closed. But because I do like Postmates, what I do is I go get the food and I bring the food to people. Now, yesterday I was walking around with my gloves and my mask on, but really it felt uncomfortable to be walking around like that into other people's houses. I noticed when I was going to other people's houses, they weren't wearing gloves and mask and stuff, but because I was dealing with so many restaurants and so many different people, I was thinking maybe I needed to protect myself, but then I would have to keep swapping out like face masks and gloves. I was like, you know what, let me just wash my hands and sanitize my hands. And my hands are so freaking dry because I'm consistently washing my hands like way more than usual. I wash my hands maybe once every couple of hours, right? A day. Now I'm washing them like every 30 minutes. Every time I walk into a restaurant and get some food, I come back in the car, sanitize my hands. My hands are so freaking dry because of it. So I'm having that type of issue. But this shelter in place order mandate basically is 7 million people, over 7 million people. And we're talking about San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara, Contra Costa, Alameda, Berkeley. These are all places that everything is shut down. We're talking about the gym, the bars, the clubs, the dine-in restaurants, the event venues. These are all things that are closed, and the only thing that you can leave the house and do is eat. And that means you have to pick up. You have to do mobile orders or DoorDash or Postmates or something like that. Um, and you can go outside to exercise. That's it. So when we start talking about martial law, me and my mother was having a conversation where we were talking about martial law couldn't possibly be something that happens because it has something to do with the military. And from my understanding, I think martial law has something to do with just a state of emergency. So if it gets to the point where it's like rioting and stuff, I was thinking, well, since everybody acted ridiculous over some damn toilet paper, I wouldn't be surprised if some rioting just decided to happen just randomly, because people out here tripping. And the United States is the only place where we have like this mass hysteria. Every other country got some damn toilet paper. Every other country is dealing with this a lot better. Even Italy dealt with this a lot better. Now, trying to get everybody to home is kind of easy. Like I said, when I went out yesterday, their public transportation was empty. nobody was really going anywhere. Everybody was just using this time to chill and, exercise. Like, I seen some people out here jogging, getting on their bikes as usual, taking their kids out to exercise, something like that. So getting people to be confined into their homes is not as hard. It's not going to get to a point where martial law is something that has to be forced. You understand? Because people are just like, all right, I'll stay home. Shit, I'm tired anyway. You know what I mean? Like, shoot. And then people worry about not getting paid. So the companies, the businesses that you work for, the corporations that you work for, they get tax credit. Even the restaurants, if they decide to shut down, they get tax credit. So you'll still get paid if you stay home, at least for 2 weeks. Now, if it happened past 2 weeks, if this confinement to people's home or isolating people is something that lasts beyond 2 weeks, then you got to start worrying about, how people are going to get paid. You know what I mean? How are we going to get paid sitting in the house? Some people they aren't able to, work remotely. Me, I can work wherever. That's always how I set my shit up. So I'm gonna hustle regardless. And those of you out there with your 9 to 5s, use this time as an example or opportunity to figure out what would you do if you suddenly couldn't go to work and wasn't gonna get paid anymore. Start factoring in other sources of income. That's what you need to do, okay? So anyway, I think that as far as trying to get the martial law thing, back to what I was saying, the martial law thing, that's really severe. And I don't know if something like that is going to happen, but oh, let me just say this. There's no toilet paper, okay? There's no soap. There's no water. There's no non-perishable goods. The perishable goods are still in the grocery store, like the fruits and vegetables. They're still there. A lot of TV dinners are gone. These are all hard, very hard, difficult things to find. Damn Chef Boyardee, oodles and noodles, stuff like that. Canned foods, processed foods, all of those foods are gone out of the grocery store. Regular food, like I said, fruits and vegetables are still sitting up there. I mean, plentiful too. It's plenty of it. And I was like, why are so many people taking? I get why you're taking non-perishable items because you think maybe, you might be stuck in the house longer than 2 weeks, or it could be because now everybody's kids are home. That's what my mother said. The kids are home, so now they're getting stuff like oodles and noodles and beefaroni and stuff for their kids to eat. So I get that. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the way that America is kind of handling this is kind of strange to me. The reason why our confirmed cases are as low as they are, okay, because people keep thinking, oh, the United States doesn't have that many people that have it. That's a mind fuck as well. And let me explain to you. This goes off. This is a segue, basically. The video that I did the other day is a segue, okay? Because I was trying to tell you guys that they was giving my mother a difficult time. They weren't trying to test her immediately, regardless of how sick she was. They were like, listen, if your fingers turn blue or your lips turn blue, then you go to the emergency room and then we'll test you. So my mother had to be drop dead basically in order for her to be tested. And that's ridiculous. You got to be severely ill. You have to meet a health criteria, meaning you have had to country in order for them to test you immediately. So when we look at the number of confirmed cases in the United States as far as the coronavirus goes, the reason why it's so low is because the hospitals are not testing people. They are diagnosing people over Skype and over the phone. All right, and telling people to isolate or self quarantine themselves. That's why they're so low, because they're not testing and there's limited test kits. So don't let that fool you. Don't think, oh, America is in the clear. Not a lot of people have it. Now, like I said in the beginning, if you have it, treat it like it's a regular flu. My mother ended up kind of just slowly healing on her own, and we still got our eye on her, you know what I mean? But she started healing on her own, just like Tom Cruise. Not Tom Cruise. Tom Hanks. He basically started healing on his own. And all we did was do whatever we could to make sure her immune system was strong. And everybody's symptoms are different. Okay, you got people out there who have a fever. You got people out there that don't. Okay, you got people out there who have chills, and then you got people that don't. All right, my mother still has chills. She has. Oh my God, we be hot. Okay, Like my mama turned that heat on Hawaii. We be in there like, oh my God, ma. We be in there with long sleeve shirts on, and because we done been outside and it's colder outside, and we come in the house and she got it on damn hell in there. I be like, damn, can you get us out of purgatory? Goodness, it be so hot. But she got chills, you know what I mean? So it makes sense. But each person has a different set of symptoms if they have symptoms at all. You understand? So you can't just look at a person and know. And don't even get me started on this Chinese virus. Now listen to this. Donald Trump, y'all saw his tweet yesterday talking about, listen, we're gonna combat this Chinese virus. Don't y'all be trying to act like it wasn't in your mind, okay? That moron just said something that a lot of people was thinking. Don't try to act like you wasn't giving Asian people the side eye. How many of y'all was out here avoiding Asian people when you found out that the virus originated in China? How many of y'all was looking at Asians with a side eye? Don't act, don't try to pretend, because it was Asian people getting their ass beat. It's videos. It's one video I saw of this young kid who got jumped by some people because he was Asian, and they was telling him to not bring that coronavirus shit into the United States. So Trump ain't do nothing but say something that a lot of people were thinking. Now I don't think I heard anybody call it the Chinese virus, but at the same time, people was afraid of Asians or ready to beat the Asians' ass because the Asians, quote unquote, were the ones that brought it over here. Now, like I said, we call it coronavirus, COVID 19, but Donald Trump, we already know that Donald Trump is a moron. Okay? We've already established that this man is a trip. But he wasn't doing anything, he wasn't saying anything that a lot of Americans didn't have in their mind. Okay, and I noticed that about him. He kind of just regular. I don't think he deserves to be president. He doesn't have the class, and he just doesn't seem like the type of person to have, that should be in office. Anyway, let me go to my chat. Let me go to my chat. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, Miss B, what's up? Jay Santiago, why do you block people that disagree with you or question you? I don't block anybody. First of all, Jay Santiago is a prime example of people come into my chats and try to be messy, and they are the reasons why I decided to make it membership only, because it's always somebody trolling and trying to be extra. Jay Santiago came into my live stream the other day and was borderline disrespectful, and what I keep trying to explain to people is I have no issue with people disagreeing with me. That's not my issue. My problem is the tone that you're using, how disrespectful you are in my comment section, and you need to know what the limit is when you're dealing with me. Just because I'm on social media doesn't mean that you can talk to me any kind of way. I have boundaries and expectations of the people who I surround myself with, who I share my channel with, who I share my stories with. I don't sit around here and waste my time to get on social media. This is not going to be a wasting of time interacting with a whole bunch of people that want to be negative and messy. Having intellectual conversation is something that we're supposed to do on this platform. We're supposed to be sitting here having fun with each other. So if you are sitting here, arguing back and forth, being combative, my moderators have no problem with blocking you. I don't block anybody. It takes a lot for me to even reach out to block someone, because I 9 times out of 10 can't see, can't use the controllers on my phone in order to block you. So my moderators will block you if you act stupid. So Jay Santiago, you were acting stupid. It wasn't about you disagreeing with me. It wasn't about you asking me questions. It's about you understanding there's a limitation on how you address me. You will address me with a level of respect when you are dealing with me, or I will not communicate with you, or my moderators will put you in your place, which is not on my channel. You will be blocked off. Now, if Jay Santiago was really blocked, he wouldn't be able to come into the chat. He was timed out, I'm sure. Okay, Miss B. They said that children are not getting sick, but that can get effective. I think one of the like I said, I saw that 2 babies were tested positive. How's your mother doing? My mother is doing great. Yeah, Miss B, I would be worried too if I had asthma or like COPD or something, because this virus attacks the lungs. All of the Bay Area needs a big EQ to set it all off. Yeah, my mother's doing great. Fruits and vegetables are good for us to fight off the virus. That's right. I don't know why people are not doing that. Um, they're buying the non-perishable goods, but they're not doing what they need to do to be able to take care of themselves. That's what I'm noticing. Um, hey, Latoya, what's up? Yeah, so my mother's doing well. She's doing better. Yeah, that's really all that I wanted to say. I didn't want to take long on this. I'm gonna shut this live stream down, but shut up another one once I cut this one off and talk about something else. So, bye, y'all. Come back to the next one, okay? Have vision to stay focused. Bye.